Hello! Today I want to yap a little bit about the difficulty of new content. Since Nod-Krai started, almost every abyss is tailored for lunar units. And I don't have a lot of them. In fact, my only lunar character is Zibai, and her best support on my account is C2 Illugi. This makes her one of the worst DPS characters that I own. Literally, coaching team is better than Zibai on my account. So, what do I do? The answer is pretty simple. I spend my Primogem income on characters that I like and ways to make them stronger. I have a lot of supports, I have some early constellations and weapons. This made my account much weaker than account that went for Nathlon carries and lunar teams, but I still have an option to make one very strong team, and what's more important, team that consists only of 3 units. This is Arlecchino, Citlali and Bennett. And the 4th slot is open for any character that can help me with the current content. In this case, it's John Yun. Because the first team is so powerful, for the second team I just need a solid core. In this case it's Chivalrous Overload with Hexarai buffs. I have both Durin and Fischl. This allows me to play characters like Lyney, who is not amazing but very solid, even for the current content. Also, my builds are quite good. My characters are usually in the top 5 or 10% on Akasha, which is not the absolute best that you can get for your characters, but it allows to get above average performance from the character. All things combined, I have enough raw damage and enough of game knowledge to get pretty comfortable clears. I don't optimize my gameplay, artifacts, rotations and all this stuff to get a better time. I just have enough to do everything on time and get 36 stars. But will it last for long? And honestly, I don't think so. Snezhnya is just around the corner, and I think we will get a bunch of special Snezhnya characters that deal special Snezhnya damage, and if you don't have them, maybe you will heal the enemies. And it's possible that the Abyss in the future will require these new characters on one side and lunar characters on the other side, because we will get a bunch of Nod-Krai reruns. If my prediction is correct, the lunar side will require my best team, which leaves nothing for the Snezhnya side. Well, hopefully I would like the future characters and will pull for them, but if not, well, GG. I already feel the consequences of my pulling decisions in Stygian Onslaught. I can clear Menacing pretty easily, but I'm never able to clear Fearless. The problem isn't in the damage, but in the fact that I actually don't have 3 good teams, I have only 2. Or, to be fair, 2.5, because I do have pretty solid team cores, but I don't have strong enough carry that can fit in the score and counter current content. Basically, I'm always one character away from a full clear. And if you're like me, we can look at the bright side. Fearless doesn't provide actually with any meaningful rewards, so I recommend doing what you can for fun and ignore the rest. Actually, I think Abyss is more important for the players long term. We get both materials and primogems from the full clears. Fortunately, Abyss is more forgiving because you don't need to get a continuous run from Chamber 1 to Chamber 3. The game saves only the best attempts. This allows to swap characters between floors and get full energy starts in each floor, which helps a lot with cancerous stuff like double lunar sites. Another thing I noticed, that one shield character is enough for the full Abyss cycle. Let me explain. For Abyss cycle, I mean the nation cycle, when the special reaction or type of damage or characters is promoted, like we had Night Soul thing in Nathlon and now we have lunar stuff in Nod-Krai. In the beginning of the cycle, only few new characters are released, and only one side of Abyss is reserved for them. The other side uses stuff from the previous region. By the end of the cycle, we have a bunch of reruns from the start and a new gimmick. In Nod-Krai it's a Hexaray thing, and in Natlan it was a Skirk and Freeze thing. As of now, the gimmicky part was quite manageable in Abyss, both in Natlan and in Nod-Krai. This leaves the middle of the Abyss cycle as the hardest one, because we have shield content on the both sides. In Nod-Krai it happened once during Columbina and Zipai release, when we had these wild hunt enemies and the dog on one side and First Night Hera on the other side. Well invested and well built team will brute force through one side, but if you don't have a strong answer for the other, you may need just one shield character. Because in Abyss the shield isn't in the damage, but in specific interaction with currently promoted character or specific weakness to the type of damage that the character does or something like that. Also, Abyss gives quite huge buffs to the promoted character, so you are compensated if you don't have enough damage without the premium team. You will do fine with the buffs. For example, my Zibai performs very poorly, but she is a strong answer to these double lunar chambers, because she can cover the gimmick of one chamber by herself and leave the other side open for my strongest team. It's almost as if the Abyss is balanced around the characters on the current banners, 1 5-star in a team of 4 stars. This makes the difficulty of the Abyss quite manageable, especially in comparison to Stygian Onslaught, which difficulty 5 is clearly balanced around the full premium team, so you need at least 2 or 3 5-stars. If this balancing of the Abyss stays the same, I expect that in future region we will need only one character to get through the new Abyss cycle. Is this too optimistic? Maybe, but it's possible. Oh, one thing I know for sure is that I want to continue to play Lyney, so I really hope that new characters will be synergistic with him. And hopefully they will make a new team course. In the end, I believe that playing your favorite characters is the best thing that you can do in the game. And yeah, I'll continue playing Lyney no matter what. Thank you for staying with me, and see you next time. Bye bye.